What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today is the first day of the brand new season, and a lot of new moveset updates have come to the Go Battle League. Of course, there's a lot of Pokemon I want to try out, but there is one Pokemon that I think everyone is going to expect me to use here. Of course, we're talking about Medicham. This was one of my favorite Pokemon back in the day when it was using Counter as a fast move, although now with Psycho Cut getting a buff, potentially Medicham might be making a comeback. I'm going to pair it up with Shadow Drapion as well as Corviknight, so let's see how the first games of the season are going to go. Real quick, before we do get into the battles, I want to say if you're not currently subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Helps out quite a bit, and I'd really appreciate it. But let's get into the battles and see what this team can do. First battle of the new season, and we're fighting a rank 3 battler. That is insane. Oh my goodness, and it's got a Corviknight on the lead. That's a little bit of a core breaker, right? But with that said, I think Medicham's actually kind of fine here. Psycho Cut might not do that much damage still, but it is going to add up a little bit over time, and Dynamic Punch, while it's not super effective thanks to the secondary typing of Flying on Corviknight, it's still going to do quite a decent chunk of damage here, so we'll go for it and see what they want to do. Yeah, they no-shield, that's basically a 2-shot, right? Like, that's pretty good damage. I'm going to try to go for a catch here. Doesn't quite work out. Well, maybe it did, I don't know. I was kind of worried that they were building up to, like, a Sky Attack here, so I wanted to swap out just in case they did have that. Yeah, see, I told you, these are rank 1 battles. We don't know exactly what to expect. Oh my goodness, dude. I hope we are not about to get, like, just completely RPS'd here. This is not ideal. This is a Skeleturge, which honestly could be a little bit scary for me, depending on what they do. They're at 3 right now, so they do have access to a potential Torch Song. We'll go for the next Air Cutter, hoping to get his shield. But man, this is a little bit scary. Skeleturge is actually a hard wall to what Medicham can do here. I guess aside from the fast move pressure. Oh, well, we get both shields. That's nice. We don't survive that next Incinerate, but that's fine. We'll bring in our Drapion here. And I do think I kind of have to go for a double shield against this. They threw in kind of bad timing. They took a second to decide what to do. So I got an extra Poison Sting Sneak, which I will take. Oh, dude, Flamethrower? Okay. I don't really know what to think about that. Honestly, I probably should have just swapped out to my Medicham here. But the way I see it is, if I do swap to my Medicham, then I line up my Medicham into that Skeleturge. And I don't really want that either. Oh, that must not be a great Corviknight. That just one-shot straight up. Okay, and Greninja comes in. So we're gonna bubble Greninja. Dude, why is this game so hard? This match should not be as hard as it is, because this player does not have the right movesets, but, like, these Pokemon specifically could have been kind of annoying to fight. That just knocks out. Okay. We should be fine now. Wait, these Psycho Cuts are actually doing real damage. Look at that. Is that, like, 4 damage per Psycho Cut or something here? That's kind of crazy. Either way, we no-shield this, Drapion gets an Aqua Tail. Oh, they actually do have a double-moved Pokemon. Insane. Amazing stuff from our opposing trainer, that is. We'll go for the Crunch, because, like, might as well. I'll get the Crunch and the Aqua Tail on the same cycle here. It was a dicier game than I was hoping for my first rank 1 battle. But they were rank 3, once again. They were a rank 3 player, so that was unfair. That should not have happened. Alright, we got our next battle here. Once again, an up pair. Rank 2 battler. Running Celebi? Huh, okay, well, like, I do have my fast move pressure being resisted by them, but, oh, they're 1366 CP Pokemon. So, that is a little bit beneficial for me. But what we can also do is go for the Ice Punch, right? This is gonna 2-shot, which is pretty nice. Yeah, that's a lot of damage here. I'm gonna go, I was gonna say a catch attempt, but they weren't even doing a confusion there, so I don't know what that's all about. I guess we'll Aqua Tail. Guys, you know, rank 1. It's a wild place, right? It's not exactly... It's not something you can predict what's going on. They shield that. Oh my goodness. What can Celebi learn? Isn't it like Seed Bomb Confusion? Like nothing actually good? Okay, so it has Hyper Beam. So I did not know that, actually. That's kind of cool. That's unfortunate for my Drapion there. Drapion was looking like it was in a pretty good spot up until that. But we get the Psycho Cut down, so surely no Skeleturge to wall us off in the back line. Okay, good. Skarmory, yes. The classic. Skarmory did not get buffed this season. Do not use Skarmory. Don't also use Hyper Beam Celebi. I'll have to put that one in the notebook. Hyper Beam Celebi. That's a new one. I don't think I've ever encountered that in my life. Are 2 Dynamic Punches good enough to knock out Skarmory here? Honestly, I have no idea. I would imagine it's pretty similar to what Corviknight is. Yeah, not quite a 2-shot, but like after the Psycho Cut damage, it might just be. I have a 2-shield Corviknight in the backline that I'm hoping is not going to get cheesed out of a win. I mean, we just saw probably one of the most insane things we could have imagined here so far. I'm going to switch out. We wall all of the energy of Skarmory, although maybe I should start shielding something this game. What if this is like another Hyper Beam? Honestly, if it is, I think we'd survive that pretty well. It is a Brave Bird. Honestly, dude, I have 2 shields. Why am I not using them? What's going to come in? Pelipper? Oh, hello, Pelipper. Actually, a really cool Pokemon in this season. It's got Water Gun. That's actually worse for us, because Wing Attack does a lot less fast move pressure. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Once again, a team that, like, almost could have maybe kind of given us some trouble, but luckily, it didn't. Why can't we just get, like, the Cradilly leads? We gotta get the good leads from Medicham here. We gotta be showcasing what Medicham can do now in the new season. There we go. Who needs shields? Honestly, shields are overrated. Oh my goodness. Alright, next battle. I'm kind of scared, honestly, now. What are we gonna see? Okay, actually, wait. We probably wall this unless they're on payback. Do we think that a rank, like, 1 battler here would have payback? Or do we think they're gonna be running, like, cross-chop? Dude, does everyone just have corviknight on their team? I mean, honestly, that's kind of based. But, like, we've seen a lot of flying steel types so far today. We'll go for the classic dynamic punch because, I mean, we saw how much damage this does, right? And now we can bank energy on our own corviknight. Maybe they're on Sky Attack. You know, we saw that already today. Maybe they're on Iron Head Air Cutter too. It's hard to say what we're going to see. Did I not get the memo? Did Sky Attack get buffed? The big iron, or the big Sky Attack update. Wow. Interesting. I think we'll no-shield this. I feel like they do not have payback. Okay, so they were just baiting. They were just baiting the first time. They thought I'd shield that first attack. Interesting stuff. I don't even know what else to say. Machamp will come in here. It's got counter, so a lot more fast move pressure than I'd prefer. But, you know, maybe they think I have Sky Attack. Maybe they gotta shield this. Honestly, an Air Cutter would do quite a bit of damage here either way, though. Okay, we get the shield. I'm just going to switch out. I feel like switching. I don't want to let them farm me down there. Medicham likely is not going to get RPS, right? Surely no Jellicent in the back. That would be pretty bad if we saw a Jellicent. But at this point, with shields down, I think even a Jellicent in the back, we'd probably just win with our Drapion. Do we shield? I don't think we do. I'm going to no shield. They don't have payback. Yeah, Rock Slide. That's what I thought. Oh, you know what? Medicham's actually quite a bit better into Clodsire than it once was here, right? It's got access to the Psycho Cut buff, as well as the Ice Punch buff. We don't talk about the Ice Punch buff too often, but I mean, it has been buffed since the last time Medicham was actually pretty meta. So Psycho Cut's actually doing some real damage. I remember some limited metas back in the day, Psycho Cut, when it was only at 3 damage per fast move, really didn't do any damage here. But that's some sizable fast move pressure that I'm seeing against this Pokemon. So honestly, that is pretty impressive to see. Let's see, we'll shield this up. It is a Stone Edge, so maybe a misplay by me. My, like, first shield of the new season is a Stone Edge. Amazing. We'll go for the Ice Punch before they get another one off, though. Just guarantee we don't have to use that final shield here. And then we can go for a Dynamic Punch into that Machamp. And hopefully, we don't even need our Drapion. In comes Machamp. I could go for an Ice Punch here, but I feel like they're going to try to farm us down. Might as well just go for the move that I know knocks him out. Big Dynamic Punch. They got no shields left. Machamp's pretty squishy. Yeah, okay. That was a much more commanding win than we've had. Alright. Yo, wait. Is this Axon? This guy... What was that name? I'm fighting the other Axon right now. Okay. Well, whoever wins this is the world champ. Bullet Seed. Okay, interesting. I know this is not like Licky Licky, right? It's not going to have access to Shadow Ball. This is amazing news. Dynamic Punch is basically going to one-shot. Psycho Cut's damage increase here is going to make it so I can farm down after the fact. Yeah, they do let that go, but man, that does a lot here. I'm going to throw in CMP just because I have so much energy right now. Does this have, like, Hyper Beam as well? If that or not, I don't think it does. I feel like if it had Hyper Beam, I'd know. Yeah, just crunch. But we CMP on the Ice Punch here to guarantee that we get his shield or snipe down so much energy from them. Let's see what they're going to do. Ice Punch gets a knockout. Wow, there goes the Greedent. Alolan Raichu. Okay, that's kind of cool. Kind of scary, actually. I'm going to go for the Dynamic Punch. While it is resistant, it does do a little bit more raw damage than Ice Punch, and since Ice Punch and Dynamic Punch have so similar pacing, I feel like it's not a bad play, and we actually get a shield. Okay, and they throw pretty much instantly here as well, which is kind of interesting to me. Is this a Thunder Punch or a Wild Charge? Thunder Punch, okay. So they'll get an extra volt switch here, but that's fine. I believe now we're just going to bring in our Shadow Drapion, build up some energy, and really just see what they want to do. I know that's a Thunder Punch, but my corviknight really doesn't want to see an electric type, so just in case there's like a second one in the back line, I'm going to shield this up, keep my Drapion healthy, and overfarm a little bit here. This is a very low CP Raichu. That's interesting. Oh, hello. What are you doing here, Double Aid? Probably getting one shot, if I had to guess. Big crunch. What are they going to do? Okay. Well, that's fine. We'll just bank the energy, come in corviknight, and I mean, at this point, even though corviknight's not amazing necessarily into... Wait, why didn't they bring in Double Aid into Medicham, by the way? Anyway, as I was saying, Sand Attack's still going to add up into that Raichu. We have so much energy on our Drapion. I think that we're in a pretty good spot. Dude, these Sand Attacks are shredding right now. That's kind of crazy. Let this go. If it's a Wild Charge, it knocks out. If it's only a Thunder Punch, though, we do survive, and we get off an Air Cutter. Although, wow, for a 14-16 CP Thunder Punch, that actually did do quite a bit of damage. Maybe I'm disrespecting Raichu a bit too much here. Big Air Cutter. Do we get a shield? We do. Embarrassing from them. Shielding a Flying type move on their Raichu. Now we got the Crunch. And I believe we have just proven I'm the superior Axon. Let's go. I respect the spice, though. And they were using Double Aid, actually, which is also kind of cool. Alright, next opponent. Let's see what it's going to be. Medi into Lopunny. I don't expect to see this too much this season, so this is going to be a rare treat of Medicham just punching through a bunny. They got double kicked themselves, so it's kind of like they're a fighting-type Pokemon. Although, oh, they tried to catch on me. That was nasty. Why did they do that? Honestly, I don't really have a great counter swap into a Florges. I have, like, you know, Drapion, which isn't terrible. But it's like, I don't know. We'll see how this goes, because they're going to outpace us with how much energy they got here. And 2 Chilling Waters basically two-shot us. So potentially they can win Switch if I let the next move go. Honestly, though, like, do I let this go? I'll shield this up. Shield this up, try our best here to get the next Aqua Tail through that hopefully will knock him out. Maybe draw a shield. Alright, we're at the back-to-back Aqua Tails now. So that means if they do shield this up, I can throw the next one. If they no-shield and it doesn't knock out, I think I can farm them down with one more Poison Sting. Okay, we get the shield. Nice, we have the next Aqua Tail. So we can pretty consistently win this matchup as long as they start shielding the moves themselves, but they probably could have got a shield advantage from us if they wanted to. Nice, we get the knockout. Lopunny does come back in, but it's also got quite a bit of energy, so like they're wasting a lot of energy coming back in here and trying to go for a full farm down. With that said, Lopunny, I wouldn't be surprised if it for some reason has Hyper Beam or something. That could be scary. Oh, but we just get a shield there. Alright, well, if we get his shield, we're going to swap out. Don't give them that farm down. Just make sure we get the Dynamic Punch through him. And either get a knockout or... Okay, I guess Lopunny is a little bit bulkier than I gave it credit for. I think I'm going to shield this because I think it does have Hyper Beam potentially. And I've been beamed once today. Okay, well, we shielded a Triple Axle. That's less ideal. But I think the second move, no matter what they're going to have here, is not going to do too much to us. Triple Axle plus Hyper Beam, you can't bank both. Yeah, just a second Triple Axle. Okay. And then it's just another Clodsire in the back. Nice. Let's see what they're going to do here. They could just go for a Sludge Bomb and try to farm us down, but if they do that, I think they just lose the game on the spot with my sheer Ice Punch spam. And if they go for an Earthquake, then that is going to be a lot of energy down the drain. I'll still have access to my corviknight as well. So, I mean, just Ice Punch and Ice Punch and Ice Punch, I suppose, is the way to go here. Yeah, big Ice Punch. Can we get another move? We can! We don't even need our corviknight, it looks like. Which, I mean, corviknight would have also kind of demolished this, if I'm being honest. But, I mean, hey, all you need is Medicham sometimes. Big Ice Punch. Knocks out the poor Clodsire. Yeah, okay. That was another one of those kind of interesting games there. But, honestly, a slightly more real team than some of the things that we have seen so far today. That was a 5-0 set, the most confident 5-0 set of my life. There wasn't a single time where I thought I might lose a game, surely. Alright, cash this in. What is that going to get us up to? Big surprise, rank number 2. Alright. Alright, this time they're the ones getting the up pair. Rank 1 battler against me. I'm a rank 2 battler. I'm amazing. So, you know, we'll see what we can do here. Annihilate. Battle of the Fighters. This did get low kick buffed on its moveset, but honestly, these Psycho Cuts are kind of shredding right now. They're going to go instantly for a Rage Fist, and while this is super effective against us, I know I can survive the first quite easily, so let's no-shield this and see what they're going to do. Yeah, easy live. We have Ice Punch, which they can survive themselves, but if they ever let an Ice Punch go, then I just Psycho Cut down in the 2-shield. Yeah, okay. Well, that's fine by me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, let's shield this up. If they're going to stay in here, I wouldn't be surprised if that means there's normal types in the backline. I think Licky Licky is one of the best pairings with Annihilate in general, so I would not be surprised if that were the case. Alright, let's knock this out, or maybe get a shield if possible. And, I mean, at this point, they're 1 away from their next move. We actually pace pretty evenly with Ice Punches and, what's it called? Rage Fists. So, I could have gone for a catch there if I wanted, but if I go for a catch, they get a lot of boosted fast move pressure against us. So, I think instead, just shield this up, farm down, and hopefully spam out a lot of dynamic punches into whatever might come in. Yeah, I mean, Medicham honestly puts in quite a bit of work against Annihilate. That's not bad to see. Yo, Noctowl, hello. What are you doing here, buddy? Do we just bank some energy here and just swap out, honestly? I think so. I don't want to stay in here. I don't want to give him a big farm down, and just in case there is a Pokemon in the back line that I need my Medicham for, I'd rather save it. Yeah, you know, like a Dunsparce, I guess. They have a Drill Run now, but it doesn't knock us out, so I'm not going to throw in bad timing here, just because I know I should get a second Crunch off either way. And we have a Corviknight as well as a Medicham here in the back line. That's going to be pretty good against that Noctowl. Alright, they do throw a move immediately. We should barely survive this. Yeah. So we can now go for the Crunch, which I guess now we have to throw it on alignment, because that rollout would probably knock us out here. But that's fine. Big Crunch coming through. We don't knock him out, but that sets up a really nice Psycho Cut down, actually. We get the defense drop. That doesn't necessarily matter. Now I have another Ice Punch. I really should Dynamic Punch, I think, here, just because I don't think I do survive long enough to get another Ice Punch off. But I think I'll Ice Punch just anyway, because it is super effective. And now I think Corviknight just goes for double Air Cutter, maybe? Maybe Payback? I think Payback. Sand Attack's actually doing a decent amount of damage here, which is kind of crazy to say. I wonder what the HP stat of Noctowl looks like. Because it looks like it's not doing, you know, amazingly against us. Although 2 Shadow Balls are going to add up quite a bit here, actually. That is a little interesting to see. I don't have a lot of faith myself in Noctowl this season. I think it's going to be a Pokemon that, while it is one of the bulkiest flying types in the game, it's also just in a spot where it doesn't have either good coverage or good pacing, and it's going to make it really hard to use, I think. Okay, doesn't quite knock out. But we have the next Air Cutter here, and even if we didn't, I think we could have Psycho Cut this down before they would have knocked us out with Wing Attacks. But I guess Noctowl honestly proving that it's not completely unplayable here. Shadow Ball's a really strong attack, right? So, makes sense why it had at least a little bit of play into us. Next battle here. Honestly, I gotta not get so used to these instant cues, but they are so nice, honestly. Okay, another Annihilate bleed. So, I mean, we'll see what they want to do here. Again, they are on low kick. I kind of want to fight against a counter one just to see how counter does against us. But I'll go for the Ice Punch here immediately. We do survive that first Rage Fist, as we saw earlier on. Although it does do a decent chunk of our HP, obviously. What are they going to do? Do they shield this up? Do they let this go? The big questions in life here. They do let that go. So we have done quite a bit of damage to them, but it isn't exactly the most dominant matchup that we could possibly have. And again, I feel like there's going to be Pokemon in the backline Medicham has more play into than Annihilate. So I'm going to shield this up. I'm going to try my best to keep Medicham around. And we'll see what they do. Oh boy. Okay. Well, I don't really have a great answer to Azumarill, actually, especially down energy and down shields. But Corviknight should be able to at least put in some work here. Absorb the Ice Beams, go for Air Cutter spam, whittle it down to make sure that potentially this Pokemon's out of the way for Medicham later on. Because honestly, Medicham is really bad into Azumarill. And I feel like just getting rid of this is more important than necessarily keeping Switch advantage. Alright. Yeah, we do survive that next Ice Beam as well, so we should be in a pretty alright spot here. They're at 5 right now, so they're at the Ice Beam. Let's see what they're going to do. I would imagine, once again, we see a no-shield here. Air Cutter doesn't do that much damage. I have seen, like, 2 Sky Attack Corviknights so far, though, so maybe they could respect a Sky Attack. That'd be kind of interesting. Alright. In comes, what? Another Ice Beam. Do I try to get another Air Cutter off after this, or do I just switch? That's kind of a tough question, actually. I think I'm going to go for the next air cutter. I think that's the play. Oh, wait, they shield that? So no, I switch. And, I mean, now, with the energy lead that I have, I should be able to just outpace the Annihilate pretty easily. I'm going to overfarm a little bit just to make sure that I can go for double Aqua Tails and have some energy remaining if they do let this go. If they shield this up, though, I have back-to-back moves ready. Yeah, big Aqua Tail knocks him out. Azu could come in here to try to go for an Ice Beam and get his shield from us, but no, instead they come in their final Pokemon. It's their own Shadow Drapion. Wow, this is actually a pretty real team by them. Annihilate, Drapion, Azu. That is a pretty strong team, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But I think we're in a pretty good spot here. We're outside of Aqua Tail range. We have back-to-back Aqua Tails ourselves, so I can no-shield this, go for the next Aqua Tail. Potentially, if they shield this, I can go Medicham and Dynamic Punch. If they no-shield it, I think I just come in Corviknight and Sand Attack down. And then I'll still have my Drapion, as well as my Medicham for the Azumarill later on. Yeah, they let that go. Makes a lot of sense, honestly. Okay, I mean, that's fine by me, too. I mean, getting rid of this Azumarill is also pretty important. Drapion, while it's pretty playable into Medicham, it's way too low at this point to truly knock us out, or to truly counter us, I should say. They will bubble us down, but Medicham, I believe, has a move ready to go on it. I can just Dynamic this, get a guaranteed knockout, and then either reach an Ice Punch or just even farm down the rest of that Drapion. Yeah, goodbye, Azu. Goodbye, Drapion. Nice. Okay, once again, Medicham proving it's really not that bad into Annihilate, right? Cycle Cut, that damage increase actually makes that matchup way more playable than you'd expect, so it's kind of interesting, honestly, in my opinion. Alright, we got our next opponent. Can we get another win here? Medicham into a Alolan Sandslash. That's a good lead, but this is one of those matchups where you absolutely need to land a Charge Attack to be able to win. And actually, this isn't that good for us. They're on Shadow Claw. Hold on. I bet I just lose the 2-shield matchup against Shadow Claw A-Slash here. That's interesting. But I'll no-shield this, and this might be a crazy play, but I think I'm just going to switch out to my Drapion. If they're on Shadow Claw, and if I have a shield advantage, then I feel like I will have a lot more play with Drapion here. Oh my god! Where did it go? Why did they do that? Why did they do that? They said I landed an Ice Punch, and that's all we needed. We get a shield. They shield the Ice Punch, I guess. Let's just catch, I suppose, or we tried to catch. Doesn't quite work. But I think we're in a pretty good spot here either way. Yo, what? Pyroar? Alright, I think we just go triple Air Cutter, I'm gonna be honest. This is an insane team. This is absolutely insane. I don't have any idea what's happening right now. Yeah, we just get the Air Cutter bait off, I guess, which means now we just get the payback. That's a game. Once again, the classic rank 2 battles in the Go Battle League. You love to see it. I guess Corviknight beats the Fire-type Pokemon. Are we even in range where, like, an Aerial Ace would knock us out? I don't think so. I think they have to go for an Acrobatics to KO us from this range. Okay, they actually do. Fair enough. But, like, can Medicham not just straight up finish up this game? I think we're fine here. We will have to shield, which is slightly unfortunate. But that's fine. Because what we can do here is we can double Ice Punch and not even need our Drapion. Yeah, alright. This game is unfortunately for them pretty over. I mean, honestly, even if they, like, especially if they would have shielded that Dynamic Punch, they would have just been swept by the Drapion, right? Drapion would have swept if they were down a shield. So they were in a pretty bad spot, like, either way, I think. But they probably still should have shielded the Dynamic Punch, in my opinion. Interesting game. Interesting game. And with a BM, yeah, of course, we got a BM the jump left there, especially after that one. Alright, oh, this guy's got a Legend Pose. Potentially actually a good battler here. They're using Galarian Stunfisk, so one of those new Pokemon this season, well, not necessarily new, but it's one of those Pokemon that's coming back, potentially into the meta, that was really good back in the day. I'm going to go for a Dynamic Punch before swapping out. I don't have a great counter swap into an Energy Advantage Gator, but I can go for the Chip and Dip here, and guarantee that my Shadow Drapion should be pretty strong here either way. We'll go for the Crunch on CMP. This is going to guarantee that we either get a shield or a knockout before I have to go for a second shield myself. So, we'll see what they're going to do. Hydro Cannon, obviously we get the shield from us, but now I likely get a shield from them. Honestly, is Corviknight even that bad into Galarian Stunfisk, though? They let that go? Well, that's fine. Okay. I mean, if I can at some point, I wouldn't mind just switching out here and saving my Drapion. I'm going to go for the Aqua Tail, and then honestly, I think I'm going to switch to Corviknight now. Rock Slides are not going to do that much to us. I have super effective Sand Attack. Can I switch, please? Thank you. I did not catch an Earthquake, although there's still forced to throw energy here, I guess. I don't know what's in the back, and I have a lot of energy left over on my Medicham, or on my Drapion, rather. So they're in a pretty awkward spot no matter what here. If there's a ghost type that my Medi doesn't want to see in the back, I think Drapion still closes out this game. If there's anything else, Medicham likely has play into it. Yeah, they need 4 Rock Slides here. That's diabolical. And it's Annihilate. That's not great for them either. Annihilate does not want to see Medicham. It doesn't want to see Drapion with energy. And this is looking good for us. Air Cutter does quite a bit, actually. We get the boost, but I don't think it really matters at this point, because Rage Fist plus I think the low kicks will knock us out before my next Air Cutter is reached. I'd love to be able to swap out here. Oh, I can? Nice. We'll go for the Aqua Tail. If they throw a move against us, though, anytime soon, like right now, they're only at a Rage Fist. Maybe they can reach an Ice Punch or a close combat, but then they have to debuff themselves or throw a lot of energy. And I just get the next move. This might not quite knock them out here, but it will put them into Psycho Cut down range before they get to back-to-back attacks. So, again, I think we're in a pretty good spot. Okay, they don't even throw the energy there. Yeah. Honestly, I think that Galarian Stunfisk might not be the best Pokemon in this meta, but also Drapion is just kind of too good sometimes. Next battle. Medicham into Electrode. Okay. I guess this is kind of where I want to see it, right? I guess Drapion would be a little bit better, because I have super effective Poison Stings, but I also have, like, you know, super effective Ice Punches I can throw here as well. I could have gone for a Dynamic Punch, which is neutral, and does do a little bit more raw damage, but I actually want the better pacing, I think, of Ice Punch here, just to be able to guarantee that I outpace them to the next Ice Punch before they get back-to-back Wild Charges. So, yeah, we should be fine here to no-shield this, and survive the Wild Charge, get a shield with our Ice Punch, and then hopefully set up our backline once we have a shield advantage. They're at 5 right now, so they have access to another Wild Charge, or their 1 pass is Swift, depending on their moveset. They do shield that, alright. 1. Oh, wow, they don't even overfarm much there. So either they're at 1 or 2, depending on if they Swift us. Okay, so they're only at 1. I should get a massive Poison Sting down here. Okay, I get 3 Poison Stings, but either way, they're not going to get a move off against us. Water Gun Quagsire. Okay, cool. I think I just stay in here, if I'm being honest. Because Water Gun Quagsire is not doing that much to us, and honestly, it'd be a little bit awkward for Corviknight to try to fight. So I'll just stay in, and just outpace him. Alright, I guess I don't even throw a move. We have the Aqua Tail. This might not be quite enough to knock out from here, but it's basically going to be enough. Oh, we get the shield, straight up, okay. They shield and they're not even tapping. They might be lagging a little bit, but I think that Drapion would be putting in way too much work against them either way. Like, they'd only get 1 Aqua Tail off here no matter what, and we just straight up knock them out. Oh my goodness, you know, not a lot of play for my Corviknight in the back, if I'm being honest here, but luckily Drapion is just such a trooper that I think we're in a pretty good spot. And if I'm being honest, I think that the Sand Attack damage would do a decent chunk to this Pokemon as well, saying both Rock and Fire are weak to Sand Attack. Yeah, that basically one-shots. We have the next Aqua Tail. Drapion's just gonna get a full sweep, I guess. Amazing. Medicham would have been pretty strong in the back, though. So sad that we sacrificed it. Alright, down goes the Electrode. I think that's back-to-back 5-0 sets here to start out the season. Let me make sure that I'm not absolutely crazy. But I think that's actually the case, right? It is. Okay. Okay, that's not bad at all. We get a Duskull for our efforts here. And that should get us all the way up to rank 3. So, I guess Medicham might just kind of be back. Medicham definitely seems like it could be back here in the new season. Obviously, some of these battles were a little bit less competitive, saying it's the first sets of the whole new season here. A lot of crazy teams to be seen, but I think Medicham definitely still put in quite a bit of work, and I'm excited to see what it can do later on. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.